So I just came up with a really good analogy when I was checking in with one of my clients that I want to share with you guys. So he was somebody who, before he came to me, wasn't going down the best path. Let's say that, He was far away from self-improvement, improving himself. But he got in the program, and I do coaching, fitness, nutrition, habits, and mindset. I wouldn't just call it fitness coaching, I would call it life coaching. That's the type of coaching I do, and we got him on the programs, right? And he starts to make progress. He starts to implement all the things I told him to implement. So I'm coaching him in terms of fitness, nutrition, habits, and mindset. And so he gets this momentum built up, right? He gets this momentum built up, and he's going up this mountain right here. And this mountain is Mount Everest. I want you to think about your goals like climbing Mount Everest, okay? And everything's going well. He's doing great. He's seeing progress week by week. But then 2 weeks ago, he gets sick. And when he gets sick, he lays in bed all week. He gets off track with his diet, he gets off track with his nutrition, he gets off track with his habits and his mindset. And he started to go a little bit backwards internally. He started to become a little negative towards himself, right? And pretty much what I told him is you're gonna go through this so many times throughout your journey. You're gonna build up momentum so many times, but then you're gonna have to set up camp for a day to rest and to relax, right? Because climbing Mount Everest, it's not something you can do in all one walk. You have to set up base camps along the way and take it day by day, right? You can't just walk up that entire mountain in one go. You will literally die. And so when it comes to achieving your goals, it's the same way. And so anyone can build up momentum for a couple weeks, even 3 months. Anyone can do that. But then the great filter happens at that first dip, at that first valley on this mountain, okay? Where you have to set up base camp for a night and you have to relax. And where a lot of people go wrong is they set up base camp and they look up the mountain and they go, that's a tall ass mountain. That's a long ways to go. And they feel exhausted. And so they actually start heading back down the mountain. But if you make it through the great filter, not the great filter, but the filter of achieving your goals right here, which is when you lose momentum, which is when you lose motivation, which is when you lose drive and all these different things that help achieving your goals feel easy. When you lose that, do you lose enthusiasm for climbing the mountain, for achieving your goals? Because to become successful at achieving your goals, it's as simple as waking up every single day and going after what you want without loss of enthusiasm. And that's literally the only definition you need. A lot of people, they think, oh, I need motivation. I need clarity. I need this, that, and the third. No, you just have to wake up every day and you have to be enthusiastic about going after your goals. And this is something I do inside of my mindset training module. I recalled back to it inside of our check-in. I also recall back to one other thing, which was, hang on, I'm losing it. What is it? I can't exactly remember now. The filter happens. I can't exactly remember now, but anyways. The true test of your character is how do you show up on the days you don't feel like showing up, okay? That's really the true test of your character. So every single time you hit a valley in your journey towards the top of your goals, you need to understand that's pretty much life humbling you and showing you where you're truly at in terms of your personal development journey or your journey towards this big goal, right? Because again, everything can feel well when you have the momentum, when you have that motivation, when you have that drive, when you have so many, good days, like it lined up in the past, strung along, and you're like, I'm making so much progress. But then that one day hits where you lose those feelings, and even though you take the same actions, you're thinking negatively. What you need to understand, and this is what I was trying to bring up, your attitude must reflect what you desire, okay? That's what I mean by To achieve your goals, all you need to have is no loss of enthusiasm. Because if every single day you wake up and work towards your goals, no matter where your emotions are at or no matter how the journey feels, but you still have enthusiasm towards it, then your attitude is reflecting what you desire, which is your goals, which is everything that you have to go through to achieve it. The struggles, but also the successes, the ups and the downs. When you're enthusiastic towards all of it, your attitude's reflecting what you desire, which is growth. At the end of the day, we achieve our goals for growth, okay? For accomplishment, for a sense of fulfillment. And so if you start to go negative on your journey, you're climbing up that mountain and you have to set a base camp for a night and you look up the mountain, you're like, oh, that's a tall mountain. And you're just not feeling like you're making a whole bunch of progress and you lose that enthusiasm, you're no longer reflecting. Your attitude's no longer reflecting what you desire. And when your mind goes negative, you have nothing working for you. Nothing. Because the only thing you ever have working for you on your journey towards your goals is yourself, is your own mind. That's it. That's all you're gonna ever have. So your attitude needs to reflect what you desire. And so every single time you get tested, you need to catch yourself. Because humans, we're gonna naturally crave momentum. We want momentum in some direction. And I don't say, when I say momentum, you're probably thinking about the positive momentum, achieving, momentum with achieving your goals. But there's also times that you've had momentum with bad habits, with bad thinking, right? There's times where you slipped up and all of a sudden you're binge eating, or all of a sudden you're going out every single weekend, or all of a sudden you're back on Tinder, or all of a sudden you're fucking fapping every single night, right? Even though you cut it out, now you're starting momentum again in the wrong direction. And you're like, yeah, it's so hard to stop. And that's the thing. I've experienced it a lot with clients I worked with. Their first 30 days, their first 60 days, everyone does great because everyone's excited. Everyone feels amazing. But then when that first test comes along, I can tell who that person truly is. It's the pivotal moment. And if they make it past that first test and their head's still up, right? Their attitude's still positive towards the journey, I know they're gonna become successful in the end, because if you can make it through one test, one value, you're good. But I also see a lot of people who, they go through that test and they completely just fall off. They seriously do. They completely just fall off. Why? Because again, now they're having momentum in the wrong direction. They didn't feel momentum going up the mountain, but now they're feeling momentum going down the mountain, going back to their old habits, going back to their old mindset, going back to their old life. And so I want you to understand that first checkpoint, that first valley, that first base camp, up this mountain towards your goals, that's the real test. It's the true test of your character. It's the true test of, do you deserve what you're working for? You think God's just gonna give you what you want if you aren't willing to give your all towards it? If He's gonna give you such great power, it comes with great responsibility. And how do you instill responsibility? You have to work for it. You have to go through something. Why do you think all the kids who grew up in rich families end up just either like destroying their wealth or just partying their whole life and not really actually going through much? It's because they were given great power, but not by God, by somebody else, and they didn't have to gain the responsibility with it, right? But if you want great power, if you're building yourself up from zero as a man, like nobody's giving you shit, nobody's giving you a handout, to achieve that great power, you're gonna have to build great responsibility, and that only comes through the tests. It really does. So don't expect your journey to be easy. And don't expect to climb up Mount Everest, achieving your goals in all one walk. It's like, I don't know how long it takes. I think it takes 3 months to climb up that mountain, right? It takes 3 months. So let's say achieving your goals takes 3 months. It's not just gonna be a clean fucking day after day after day momentum towards your goals. No. There's gonna be days where you have to set up that base camp, you have to relax, you have to reset. There's gonna be weeks where maybe you get sick and you lose all of your momentum. And all that needs to happen is you just gotta get right back on that climb, right back on that walk. Start that momentum up once again, as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Because again, putting it off Now you're kind of in the middle. Do I climb up this mountain or do I start having momentum going down the mountain? Again, the human mind just craves momentum. Or I should say, your DNA just craves momentum. Your mind knows what you want, but on a deeper level, you just want momentum. You just want to feel like you're heading somewhere. Hence why people get so caught up in like bad habits and vices, because it makes them feel like they're heading somewheres, right? And so that's why your mind needs to be stronger than your emotions, and you need to have extreme emotional intelligence. Because let's say you slip up and you start falling down that slippery slope, you start heading back down the mountain. If your emotional intelligence isn't strong, if you aren't emotionally strong, you're gonna feel that momentum and it's gonna feel good. But then you're gonna realize, oh shit, I was going down the mountain when I should have been going up it, if that makes sense. And going down the mountain is a lot easier than going up the mountain. I always say one bad habit can outweigh 10 good habits. So you could have 10 good days. One bad day, it's gonna cancel out those 10 days. It really will. And I don't say that in a way to say, oh, if you lose momentum for one day, it's gonna destroy the other 10. No, what I'm saying is, if you wake up one day, you have no motivation, you're tired, you're just feeling off, you don't feel yourself, you don't feel like doing the work, etc., and your attitude drops, meaning you're no longer enthusiastic about it, that is gonna outweigh those 10 days. Because once your attitude drops, once you lose enthusiasm for your goals, your thoughts are gonna follow. And your thoughts are gonna lead to bad actions. Low quality thoughts, well, I should say, low attitude leads to low quality thoughts lead to low quality actions. Take low quality actions, achieve a low quality outcome, or an outcome that you don't want. So that's why attitude is most important. And if you want the simplest way to fix this, it would be my morning journaling framework. If this is you, if you watched this far in this video, here's the simplest fix. It's the morning journaling framework that I have followed for the past 4 years of my life. Every single morning when I wake up, I sit down with my journal. And inside my journal, I follow the simple framework. Good morning world, today is gonna be an amazing, a beautiful, the best day of my life, something along those lines. But I always say good morning world, today is gonna be a blank day. I like to say amazing, because what you look for, you tend to find more of. You're setting the intention, the tone for the day. Then I say, thank you God for today. I'm so blessed and grateful to be alive. Grounding myself and giving thanks to God who's giving me all this. And he can take it away from me at any moment. So thank you God. I appreciate you so much. And then sometimes I'll write a couple things I'm grateful about just to ground myself more. Grounding is very important. But then I'll write my action plan for the day. Things that I get done. And even if I wake up a day I'm tired, like I slept 4 hours last night, even if I wake up a day I'm unmotivated, or maybe I broke up with my chick last night, I'm feeling heartbroken. Following this morning journaling framework, just taking 5 minutes to myself and making sure I shift my attitude and my energy at the very beginning of the day is what helps me continue to climb up this mountain and not slip and not fall. And it will for you as well. Structure is what's gonna keep you on track for the journey, okay? Structure is what you need. And so I think the morning journaling framework is the simplest form of structure you can have inside of your life. That's gonna help you climb this tall mountain and go through the peaks and valleys that you're gonna go through. Okay? I hope this video helped you. Hope it provided some value. I love you guys. I'll see you later. Peace.